Hey, Becky here from Basil and Bacon. I just wanted to pop on and share with you something that many of you have been asking me about, and that is how I do my weekly meal planning and menu planning for my family. So I have a pretty good system. I've been doing it for at least 7 years now, and it totally works for us and my family. It's not complicated, but it does work, so listen up. The first thing is you get yourself a pretty book. So here's all my pretty books. All of these are filled with meal plans. So just for example, here I'll show you. See, meal plans. Each one of these books is totally filled up. So years and years and years of meal plans in here. What I do is I get myself a blank page, and let me see if I can find an example here for you. That actually you can see and read my messy writing. It's totally terrible. Anyway, so I get myself a blank page. I put on one side the meals that we're having that week. So I get my recipes from food blogs, cookbooks. Some of them are basil and bacon meals. Some of them are just sort of like tried and tested recipes that I know my family loves to eat. So a combination of those things. And the first thing is I always choose 5. So the reason I choose 5 is because I assume that at least one night of the week we'll be having leftovers, and at least one night of the week we'll end up doing something unplanned. So whether it's ending up at a friend's or grandma and grandpa's for dinner, or going out for dinner or something like that. So I always do 5 meals. And when I write the meals on this page here, I always include a thing saying where they came from. So when I go to actually make the meal, I can find the recipe quickly. So this one, it says the cookbook name and then the page that it's on. Another one here says the website that it came from. So if that's super important, it's a small tip, but it helps a lot in trying to not have to go back and search for recipes when you're ready to make the dinner. So the recipes are on one side, and on the other side is the grocery list that goes along with those. So super simple. I go one recipe at a time and then fill in the grocery list. I have a method for the grocery list as well. I always do it the same way, and it's kind of in the order of the grocery store, but also in a way that my brain makes sense. So for me, on the left-hand side of the page, I do all of my veggies and fresh stuff. So that's anything I would find in the produce department. And then on the right-hand side at the top, I do anything that's like canned goods, things like chicken stock, anything that would come like in a can, like beans, or if I need something, I don't know, something that comes in a package, basically. Okay, and then underneath that I have my dairy, so things like milk, eggs, anything that comes sort of in the dairy section. And then at the bottom here I'll have my breads, anything in the bread or bakery section, and then at the very bottom I'll put anything from the meat or the butcher that I need to pick up. So produce, sort of canned pantry items, and then dairy, breads, meats. So I've been doing it this exact way for years and years, and it works for me, and my brain knows exactly where to look when I'm looking for things. So it works really well. So what I have here is, I mean, this is a lot of books. So these are all filled up with weekly meal plans, which is pretty sweet. So like technically, I actually don't have to do this anymore, because any given night of the week, or sorry, any given week, I could just grab any of these books and open it up to a random page, and I would have a weekly meal plan with 5 recipes and a grocery list for that. So there's 5 and a grocery list. Shocking, right? Oh, this one I didn't have my book with me, so I wrote it on paper. Anyway, it totally works for me. It's easy. It keeps me accountable, keeps my fridge full, and keeps me planned. Which I need in order to survive sort of the chaos of my house. So I hope that you can sort of take some of these tips and maybe implement something similar for your family. Okay, again, it's Becky from Basil and Bacon, and those are my meal planning tips for you.